Here is Rob Dibble.
So Special K is coming back, we will talk to the athletic director coming up at 3:25, David Benedict, and we'll see what he has to say. Alex KARABAN. I didn't hear him declare for the draft, and I didn't see it on social media, but it said that he took himself out of the draft, and he's coming back. But either way, however it happened, we're very pleased that Alex KARABAN will be playing another season in a Uconn uniform. And listen, we always look for stories, you and I, on this show. Okay, we're having David Benedict on, stuff like that, and I'm always thinking about what to. I swear it was 15 minutes later that it popped up on my phone. Alex KARABAN was coming back, and it's kind of like sometimes it falls in your lap, sometimes it doesn't in this world that we work in. So, listen, he's a great player. He's one of the best that's ever put on a Uconn uniform. We don't know what's out there for him at the NBA level, but we do know he makes a lot of money NIL. He's got a huge following as far as the fan base and stuff like that. And he thinks, I think he thinks that he's left some unfinished business on the table at Uconn, meaning a third championship, and he feels Uconn has the potential to do that. And you got to love a guy like that. There's been no bigger gamer I've seen in the last 5 years put on a Uconn uniform than Alex KARABAN. The guy gets fired up. He fires up the team. He walks in there, and he's got a positive attitude. Even when he missed those 2 foul shots, even when he goes 0 for 6 from 3, he keeps shooting. This is one of the more fearless players I've seen in a Uconn uniform. So, if anything, for younger fans and younger kids, men and women or boys and girls, to watch a player like that for another year in a Uconn uniform, we're very privileged to have him come back.
Here's what Alex put on his Instagram. The last few years have been transformational for me as a person and a player. I am forever grateful for my coaching staff, my brothers, the fans, and the community at Uconn for all the memories we've made together. I pride myself on accepting challenges and holding myself to the highest standard. Last year, we didn't achieve what we set out to. I am not running from a chance to make that right. After deliberating the last few weeks with my coaches and family about my future, I've realized that my heart remains in stores, and I have unfinished business to chase another national championship with my brothers. Let's run it back one last time. #LastDanceAlex, number 11. A lot of response already to that Instagram post, especially from his mates. Solo Ball wrote, "I'm not crying." Samson Johnson put, "Captain's back." I think a lot of people were excited to hear this news all over the state of Connecticut. And for this guy, I think he really grew last year as a leader, and I think he's even going to grow more in that regard. I see this guy as a head coach somewhere. Like, he just loves basketball. He loves this particular program and how it's run. Right. He loves being coached hard. He obviously loves the head coach, Coach Hurley. They got some news today, by the way. Coach Nardi, welcome to the program. He comes to us from Villanova. So
spent the last 10 years coaching at Villanova, has some national championship wins under his belt as a coach. He was a great player.
Better burn that Wildcat stuff, though.
Yeah. Don't be bringing that Nova stuff around here. So that is kind of hard to swallow that he was at Nova.
No, it's all right, man. Everybody's in the same neighborhood.
It's all right for you to say it's all right. I can't say it in front of my wife. She ain't going to accept it. But no, he is an excellent coach. It means that Tom Moore has stepped up to general manager.
I think that's really
position.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, like, we always love this guy, and we always know he's like the suit in behind.
Well, he's the suit. He's one of the best recruiters we have. Right. I mean, he was doing it with Jim Calhoun.
He knows his basketball, too.
He doesn't just have rings with Hurley. He's got rings with Calhoun.
Right.
So he's also been a head coach at Quinnipiac. So I think as an older statesman kind of here in the business, he knows all this stuff. And listen, Mike Nardi's 40. You need young blood, and I'm sure that the travel and all the other stuff, if Tom doesn't have to go on all these trips and stuff like that, I'm sure his wife will love it. I'm sure that his body will love it. But I mean, there's times. I mean, we were talking about it in college now. Andrew Luck is a general manager.
Stanford,
you've got Shaquille O'Neal now wants to be a general manager. I think I'm not saying it's a cake job, but I think that it's a position where you could probably make your own hours. You're kind of shaking hands and kissing babies, kind of political stuff, raising money for the NIL. I mean, there's going to be so many different things that need to happen in the next 5-10 years with the ever-changing landscape. I think that's the one thing. I don't even think we understand how quickly it's changing. There's so much money that is being shoved in. Because I follow this Mark D'Amelio, and he's got this DJ night that's sold out. I mean, this guy is trying to raise so much money for sports at Uconn, and I don't think he's getting the appreciation he deserves. And all the other people that are like him, on Uconn's behalf, they don't have to do it; they love to do it, and I think that's what makes our programs win. It helps the baseball. It helps the softball. It helps all of our other sports that don't have the notoriety of the basketball program. So for one, I appreciate everything that the boosters are doing, the alumni are doing. I mean, I remember even this is before NIL was allowed. My wife being a part of the alumni association, and they send money to help all of the different sports things and keep the alumni and the fans coming. We've had the ticket program that gets tickets,
Husky Ticket Project.
The Husky Ticket Project that gets kids to these games that are underprivileged and underserved and can't get the money and get into some of these games. And now it's reached national levels of awareness. So I think all of this stuff is probably why a guy like Alex KARABAN's like, listen, I have no problem coming back and foregoing a year in the NBA to try to chase this goal that I have set and my mates have set. And I think that's why I respect Alex KARABAN, because he's 22. He could choose easily. I think this is his fifth, going on his sixth year. He could have easily said, okay,
going on 4.
All right. Well, is that counting COVID?
Yeah. Yeah, because he was an early guy, an early arrival as a high schooler. And his freshman year, we win a national title. His sophomore year, we win a national title. Last year was last year. And so this is just, we are getting rid of all the 23, 24-year-olds in college athletics because that COVID year is finally expiring. And a lot of those guys that had injury, the 6-year senior is melting away.
I think Eric Dixon's 23, 24.
I don't know. Cross your fingers he's not coming back and find some kind of eligibility somehow, some way. But for Alex, and in this particular instance, you are right, my friend. Like, in a non-NIL world, he is not here.
No.
Like, I love what he said, and he's 100% genuine. I don't want to take any of those words out of that statement. However, let's not pretend that if he does not get an NIL match and not to the NBA draft, you're competing against the Italy League, you're competing against Argentina, you're competing against Russia, you're competing against all these professional basketball leagues that now they are trying to compete for these college athletes. Back then, heck, $20,000 was enough for a kid to be like, all right, I'm done with school. I can go to the pros. It might not be the NBA, but it's pros, and I can get paid to play basketball. Now, with what D'Amelio has done, all the collectives, NIL included, and really keeping up with the Joneses of what we know of North Carolina and what they're spending, Kentucky basketball, what they're spending, like this unreal amount of money. And if that money wasn't raised, he may go to another school too. People think about that.
We don't have a $50 billion endowment. I mean, that's the one thing. UConn can't compete with some of these schools that, like you said, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke. I mean, some of these other schools, even Florida and Arizona, some of these other colleges, football-wise, we can't compete with that. But we're trying. It doesn't mean you can't try. And
for sure. But they've got to do it smart. Yeah. Because they can't afford a lot of places to mess up. And I love this move for Tom Moore going to GM, because you brought up Shaq, you brought up Andrew Luck. I think everybody is still figuring out what a general manager of a college team actually is. And there's no how-to. There is no job description. You're kind of making it up. And I believe that a Shaquille O'Neal is not going to Sacramento State and having an office and going to be there Monday through Friday, 10 hours a day or 40 hours a week. He is a face of that franchise, and he is going to raise money with that face. By the way, his son is going to Sacramento State. But I don't know as far as the ins and outs of him being an actual general manager. Now, Tom Moore Tom Moore and what UConn, I think, is going to do with this position is take it very serious. And he is going to, like we talked to David Benedict a couple weeks ago about this, he is going to manage all the financial situations, NIL included, recruiting expense included, all things considered. So the coaching staff worries about basketball. It is a basketball position, but you're right, too. Like, this guy's a great recruiter. This guy knows the hoop. And he is somewhat the face of the franchise in Connecticut, having rings with both of those head coaches. So I love these things today. I think UConn men's basketball should be, I don't know if we pop champagne or if we shoot fireworks off. I don't know. Celebrate, man. You should celebrate because today's an awesome day.
Again, yeah. I mean, listen, you're spoiled. If you're a UConn fan, you're spoiled.
Yeah,
if you're, I've said this for 11 years. I've been doing this here. Whether you're a sports fan, and you're New York or Boston, and it's around this area, you get the best. You really do. And we're going to talk all day about all the different things that are going on, and the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, and stuff like that. And nobody wants to be around here and following teams that don't win. And even my wife said this last night as a Red Sox fan. She was blown away. The Mets have the best record in baseball. She challenged. She's like, they have the best record in baseball. I'm like, yeah, they do. Right now, today, and so when you're looking at this is constant. There's a constant, and like you said, the GM position. Even looking this up,
24/7.
It's changing so quickly that you kind of said rapidly growing role. That's the responsibility of the GM. Is stuff that the coach can't do. The coach can't be involved, like you said, the NIL, the roster management, the player development, all of that. You need someone to kind of have an office with a bunch of employees that this is just like a pro sports franchise now. And, we've even seen now the pro sports in college, and there's going to be all kinds of stuff, so it's an ever-growing entity, and we don't know where it's going to go down the road, but right now we're lucky to get a guy like Mike Nardi. Mike Nardi was your interim head coach last year at Villanova, and that guy probably could have been sniffing other head coaching jobs.
Right.
But again, we get another great assistant coach with that pedigree, and so you should appreciate that. So it's not just the Alex KARABAN news. I'm just as thrilled about Mike Nardi coming to UConn because that's going to help all of these other kids that might have thought, hey, I'm going to go to Villanova. You know what? Mike went to UConn. Why did Mike Nardi go to UConn? There's something in the water here at UConn, and a lot of people want to be a part of it.
Super excited, and the season is so far away. But we can't wait for it to get started. The Mets, however, as you said, best record in baseball. They got 20 wins. Nimmo setting records. 9 RBI, 2 home runs last. Nimmo. Like, dude, it's coming from everywhere from the New York Mets right now, just tearing up the league.
Well, the bottom of the lineup had a night last night. 12 of those runs came from Nimmo, Vientos, and Winker, and didn't come from the upper part of the order. So let me give you this. Lindor was 0 for 3. Soto was 2 for 4. Alonso was 2 for 5, and there was 1 RBI between those three guys.
Yeah.
You look down past that now. Winker, who had been struggling, Vientos, who had been struggling, who had a great year last year, they both scored 4 runs each and went 2 for 4. Vientos had 3 RBI. Nimmo had 9 RBI. So the 19, 12 were by Vientos and Nimmo. Nimmo was 4 for 6, couple of home runs, 9 RBI, and raised his average to 218. So between Winker, who's now hitting 220, Vientos hitting 219, Nimmo hitting 218, those guys had a day. And then Jeff McNeil and Alvarez, who just came off the IL,
by the way,
both were 2 for 5. Yep. McNeil with a huge home run, his first of the year with 3 RBI. So really the bottom of the order, 18 of the 19 RBI came from below the fifth, 6th, and 7th guy.
19-5 your final as they split.
But that's the way you should
series
beat on the Nationals.
On the Nationals, yeah. The Nationals are getting it together a little bit more than they were last year, which
I'm surprised at 13-16.
Real low bar.
I'm blown away that they took 2 games from the Mets.
Now, the Mets will play the Diamondbacks. That will start a series as we are fans of the Diamondbacks. Can't wait to see how that one shapes out. The New York Yankees lose last night by 1 run in Baltimore. They take on Baltimore once again. Another weird 6:35 first pitch. We'll get off the air at 5:55 for Dave and Susan. But Mullins, man, huge Rob job there. My guy Cedric do not sleep on Cedric at the plate or in the outfield.
Well, honestly, the one-run difference I was watching the game was your center fielder that for the Yankees, basically Trent Grisham. We were talking about this off the air.
Oh well, Nick Federico's in the studio, so
they have so many made-up statistical and analytical stupid things that they talk about. So Trent Grisham butchers a ball that lands 10 feet from the wall that should have been caught. Michael Kay comes out with there was a 90% probability of that ball being catchable, and I'm like, he missed it. And Holiday scored on it. That was the first run of the game. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? There's no probability. There was zero probability because he didn't catch it. So to have these like fictitious statistics all the time. Then there's Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm dives, catches the ball, and there's a new statistic called outs against replacement.
Oh, God.
Okay?
How many people can make that
like
play,
a Bodor. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about? He leads the team in outs above replacement. I don't even know what that means. They said it. I said it was a great play. Dude dove, saved the freaking run, got up, threw the guy out. I'm like, that was a great play. This guy's he's got great range. David Cohn said that he's got great range. So you're trying to take away, the analogy of this guy's a good athlete and bring in mathematics to describe it. I just think it's absolutely foul and distasteful, and it makes it very hard to listen to baseball when every part of it, from every pitch to every swing to every hit. I told you about the thing with Terry Francona, where the guy's like, well, this guy's tied for the hardest home run hit by a Red this year. And Terry Francona just looks him dead in the eye and he goes, it still counts for one run. Like, you're a tool. And again, so these guys are trying to twist the game to where it seems like it's more nerdy. It's not about being nerdy. It's about you still have to execute and play. And you're trying to take the heart and the soul from baseball and all these other sports. And to me, it's like you're never going to be able to do it. You can try and try and try. It's been tried before. They've tried to have, Bill James tried to do it. Moneyball tried to do it. Now you're trying to do it with your outs above replacement or your catch probability. That's just total garbage. The guy ran in on the ball. He took a bad route and a run scored because of it. And you should see Warren's face. Warren's like, oh, my God, how could you not catch that ball?
He's had a lot of bad luck.
That's what the statistics should be. The shock to the pitcher, shock and awe. So, I mean, listen, it's tough to watch baseball when you've got all these people trying to get on board with analytics and just saying stupid things about, like, it's not that deep is what I'm trying to say. It's a very simplistic game. You catch the ball, you throw the ball, you run, you hit, you try to do the right things, you try to anticipate, but it's very hard in baseball. It's kind of a reactionary game. But to try to put these statistics on a reactionary sport is to me, it's just, like I said, distasteful, it's shameful, and these people just they're so full of themselves for coming up with these stupid new analytics.
This makes me feel about the time when you broke my heart and our former producer John Gallo's heart over Jim Edmonds, and we were like, dude, Jim Edmonds is always making plays.
Dude, Jim Edmonds was so damn slow and got so bad jumps on balls, he had to dive.
And we were like, what? Nah. Then we watched some film, like, okay, maybe you're right. But his OAR dips through the roof. Through the roof.
And listen, I love Jimmy. Jimmy's a great player, and he made the plays. But again, he's not the only one that was doing it. There's so many other players around the major leagues. But then you look at a Hall of Famer, and he should be Andrew Jones, and they haven't put him in yet, but he will make it. That guy played 20 feet behind second base, daring you to hit it over his head, and he'd still catch the damn thing. And it was like Eric Davis. Eric Davis, I knew the ball was going to be caught when he was in full stride, like a thoroughbred horse. He was so gorgeous to watch run down my mistakes, and then he'd smack his knee and he'd catch the ball. And I knew with that leg slap, he was going to catch the ball. And so for me, he didn't have to lay out and dive and catch the damn thing because he got a great jump. And so people didn't appreciate that. But me in my heart, I was like, easy. Eric makes it look easy, yet it is not. And there's other people that make it look great, but they struggled to get to the ball. If that makes sense.
I love it.
OAR.
I love it.
It's unbelievable, man. I couldn't believe it because it was in the same half inning.
Oh, God.
Same half inning. Jazz Chisholm's play, Trent Grisham's butcher in the same half inning. And honestly, David Cohn was laughing. Because even David, who's kind of jumping on board the analytics thing, he was like, he wasn't having it.
But this is handed to those guys. Like, Michael Kay ain't staying up all night doing this research. Like, there's a nerd.
There's a nerd behind him handing him a slip of paper. By the way, Michael, that is the probability of catch right there. I'm like, get the out of here.
He had to justify his job, man. He hadn't said anything in a while. So
the probability was, why the hell is that guy? Listen, I want Aaron Judge in right field. He's safe there.
Yeah.
But he's a better center fielder than Grisham.
They got to find somebody better.
My problem
Judge
is,
can't bail them out on everything.
I know. And then what were you saying? You went golfing today. How'd that go?
It went great, by the way. Travelers Championship about ready to kick off. It was media day out there at TPC River Highlands. Some things have changed. It was great. What are you talking about? My analytic work, how I was mashing the ball. Short game was a little rough, but I do think I'm in the running right now for a long drive competition.
Good.
Ashley Baylor, very
you
jealous.
can use a new driver. Are they going to give you a new driver if you win?
Possibly, but I can't,
That's a sponsorship possibility, by the way. Any golf people out there like Chris Cody that would like to sponsor the show and give us some free stuff.
Now, I did see our man Bob Cleaver skip the pond on 16.
That's fantastic.
On the green. Now, I would like to say he called it.
But he didn't.
It may have been a stroke of luck,
like
but it was
banking
awesome.
in a 3
It was awesome.
that you didn't call.
It was better than banking in a 3.
Did you guys bury the hole?
No, we used my shot actually off the tee on that one. It's a little closer. And we all missed the putt.
Way to crush Mr. Cleaver.
Oh, I crushed Cleaver all day. Cleaver had like his best drive. I think it was on 6, like coming in, maybe 5, coming in on this long par 5 on the front 9. And I was like, dude, Cleaver, where did that come from? Straight down the middle, rocket. And then I get up there, blast about 55, 75 yards past. It was inspiration, bro. It was all inspiration.
And you were on the video call with Scotty Scheffler?
Chef's awesome. He joined Chris Berman. And by the way, this is one thing I notice about these media days. Whenever the pros are around Andy Bissett and they just know that Andy's about to, like, they light up immediately. Like, Scotty Scheffler's face went from like a ho-hum Tuesday to like, wow, Andy Bissett's here. Oh, what's this dude going to do?
What cool toys you going to give us this year, Andy?
They gave Scheffler a new coffee maker with these beans from Hawaii that I guess you can't get anywhere else in the world. And Chef is like,
they come out of a monkey's butt?
Something like that. There's a 2-mile strip.
You don't know about that coffee?
No, this in Asia somewhere. This is a Kona
Kurt looked
island.
at me funny. No, Kurt, there honestly is a coffee that people, the monkey eats it, craps, and they make coffee out of it.
Cat one too.
Pass.
But yeah, this is not that. This is high potent Kona bean, and I think like
Kona bean.
Every time these golfers get an Andy Bissett gift from the Travelers, they look at it like, where the hell am I going to put this in my house, man?
Oh, jeez, yeah. I still have M&Ms from 5 years ago at my house.
Glad you reminded me. I got some Scotty Chef M&Ms for the guys. So we got some M&Ms coming our way. But dude, that place is first class. That tournament is first class. They're going to raise a bunch of money. It's going to be a lot of fun. All the pros are going to be there. Everything's going to be bigger and badder and better than what it was last year. And I don't know how they keep on doing that, but they're going to.
Another short show because the Orioles want to start at 6:30, so we're getting kicked off at 6. But enjoy it. We're going to have David Benedict on next.
Oh, yeah.
To talk about Alex KARABAN and everything Uconn. So stay tuned. Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive.